Good afternoon. It is Friday, September 23rd, and I am coming to you live on my Shayla V Facebook page. My name is Shayla Hogan, and I write a blog called Shayla V, and it is a self-development lifestyle blog, and I write a lot about the things. It's going to be weak connections the whole way through. Just keep going. And I write about the thing. Hey, Mike, how are you, man? So I write about the things that I'm interested in, the things that I'm thinking about. I take about 10 minutes to yap at you, have a little fun, worry about my internet connection, and then I'm done. So today's subject is happiness. Happiness is an interesting subject. Everybody has something to say about it. There are all sorts of online classes or programs or whatever, entire courses on happiness. I've actually participated in one, and it's an interesting concept, happiness, and how elusive it is, and I'm discovering some tricks to that. I just turned 50 a week ago. This coming weekend, tomorrow, we're having friends over. That makes me very happy. I wonder if I change it over to G connection, will it be any better? I don't think so. It happens. So today, happiness. My husband likes to say, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Happiness is all it's cracked up to be. I'm talking to my therapist, and I'm like, well, how do you know if you should do something? How do you know what your purpose is? And she's like, well, yeah, happiness. Isn't happiness a way to decide whether you're doing it right? Yes. What makes you happy? What makes me happy? Actually, kind of talking out loud to myself, kind of here, this makes me happy, so I'm doing it. It's crazy, but it kind of makes me happy. Giving parts of myself to the world, the things that I think about when I write, I discover what I think. That makes me happy. So self-discovery makes me really happy. So happiness, what you should be doing is the things that make you happy, that make you feel purposeful. If you have an idea and it kind of makes you giddy to think about it, that's what you should be doing. You should follow that. And don't get me wrong, I don't think everybody else should quit their day job and run off and run to the circus because that makes you happy. I think that you can do both. And I think you can do both in a way that makes sense for you. I read an article about a guy who has a barbecue business. And he does this barbecue, like the most awesome barbecues in the South somewhere, maybe. And it's like one day a week. He's a fireman the rest of the time, but he loves to do barbecue. People line up like for miles to have this one day of barbecue. And he makes that happen for himself. That makes him happy. And he likes to be a fireman. And he feels like if he made it any bigger, it would almost ruin it. Sometimes I think that about the things that make me happy. If I do it too much, if I made it into a business, like I love to event decorate. But if I started to event decorate for money, it would ruin it. Because people will want to be cheap with my talent, and that would piss me off. So you can temper your happiness things, do a little bit more. Like so recently I've been doing a little more creativity. I've been arting every day, if anybody's been watching. Arting makes me extraordinarily happy. Now, that brings me to another subject of the happiness quotient. I was talking to my therapist. That's what I do when I go see my therapist. And I said, validation. What about validation? What's up with that? And I get kind of like, it's if you watch my perfectionism talk, when you do something and you're doing it for other people, you're never going to be happy because you're doing it for their approval. And nothing that you ever did in life that made you really, really happy was about perfectionism. Nothing. The things that really make you happy are never about perfectionism. And they're not about making other people happy, unless it's like you made a birthday cake for your kid and your kid's happy that you made that birthday cake. But that's not a validation that gives you, that's the other kind of validation. So she said there's two different kinds of validations. it's the validation for others to approve of you, and then there's a validation that you get mostly from yourself. You say, I'm cool, I did this is good, but you do need an interaction with other people to acknowledge. So I think it's really cool. Do you think it's really cool? And they say, yeah, that's actually okay. But if you don't know if it's cool until they tell you it's cool, you're on the other side. So you have to kind of like feel out. And if you're afraid to do something, you have to decide whether the fear that you're feeling is because you want other people to approve of you, to make it okay for you to do that thing. That's probably not good. But if you're afraid because you really, really want to know how it feels to do that thing, like skydiving or I don't know, whatever. Sometimes even making art has felt like skydiving for me until I did it every single day. That's for me. I'm curious about what I can do when I come up. And by the way, we're in my craft room. I thought I would bring the craft room into the mix here. So we're sitting in my craft room. If you see, well, you can't really see the crafty stuff because it looks terrible over there. So anyway, the validation thing was very interesting. We need other people. We need tribe. We need communication with other people. That does make us happy. We are group beasties. But we have to be careful about what we choose to put into our souls. If it's somebody else's disapproval, does that mean that I'm not good enough? No. And that's been all my life. I have to figure that one out. All right, so validation. Happiness. We're on happiness. The other thing that I realized about happiness is that sometimes to get to it, you got to own your own crap. So I spent a really long time in a really bad marriage, and I was miserable. Everybody who knows me then knows how miserable I was. And it was only at the point when I said, I'm doing this to myself. I'm choosing this person to make me unhappy, and I need to unchoose this to get to the happy part. So, again, by the way, sorry about the connection thing. It's just what it is. So, I unchose it. And in unchoosing it, then I had an opportunity to be happy. But the other thing that I realize is, on whatever you believe, you will create. But how do you own your own happiness? If you can't own your own CRAP, then you can't own your own happiness. You are creating every place in your life, whether it's happy or unhappy. That's you choosing all the stuff to make that happen. And it's so subtle. I made some choices yesterday I realized were not good. They made things kind of go off. We got derailed. And I thought, that's because I chose to be in a bad mood in a way. And I was like, So if you own your own part, that's how you get the right husband. And then you get the babies who make you happy, if that's what you want, which is what I wanted. And then you can give yourself the credit. It's not somebody else's problem. It's not somebody else's gift to you. It's you. You gave that to you. So happiness is something that you give to yourself. So here in the end, I'm thinking, all right, so what does happiness look like to me? Because I should describe it. If I want it, shouldn't I tell you what it looks like? So for me, it's playing every day. It's being unapologetically myself. Being who I am. If you don't like it, you don't gotta watch, right? To be proactive. To go a little bit into the future, maybe plan some meals. That makes me happy. To be present. To be here now doing this the best that I can do it. It looks like connecting with other people. It looks like no financial strife. It looks like watching my kids be happy and playing together. And sometimes even when they're arguing together. At least they have each other. Like, that makes me happy to be able to be present to watch that. Making art, listening to the crickets chirp makes me happy. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I did have a happy day, and I'm having a happy week. This is what I'm talking about. So tomorrow, what really makes me happy is hanging out with my really good friends, and so they're coming down, and we're gonna have crabs, and just shooting the shit and picking crabs, just because it's a Maryland tradition, and it's very social. And hanging out with my people, that makes me extremely happy. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm trying to keep myself in kind of like a vacation mood or mode, where it's like, All right, I did all the house cleaning. The toilets are clean. Now I'm done, and I'm kind of hanging back. And my sister came to visit. So that makes me very happy, too, because she can hang out and play with my kids who love her and are doted on by her, which makes me happy, too. That kind of family thing is really, really good stuff. So I apologize for the connection problems. We might have to have better internet choices in our near future, but at least I'm not wiggling and dropping the phone like I used to. Coming October, I'm going to do an everyday post on my blog. This is what I do every October. So every single day on my blog, I will be posting something. So if you want to follow along, I'm finishing up the everyday creativity thing, which has been wonderful. If you watch me on Instagram, you can see every day. I do post it to the Facebook, my personal Facebook page, but not always to my Shayla V page, whatever. So there's 2 pages. And so every day in October, there'll be something on the blog. If you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. I might even do a giveaway. Some of my art, what the heck, right? And thank you for watching. Thank you for showing up for me. I really, really appreciate it. And if you made it all the way through, good on you, man. Thank you very, very much. All right, Shayla Hogan, Shayla V is my blog. Join me there sometime. And this has been good. Happiness to you. Have some happy, fun time this weekend. All right, signing out.